All right, what's good, guys? IG Squad here, and welcome to week 4 of the 2023 IG Squad summer vlogs. I'm not really sure how much is going to be going on this week. I'm going to guess probably not a lot because we're kind of just finishing up some stuff to get ready for big projects and events coming up. So yeah, ending off May with this one, and that's all I've really got. So let's go and get into it. Alright, so new vlog week means camera change. I'm going to be recording this entire vlog on my iPhone XR. I've recorded many videos on an iPhone XR before, but I don't know. I have it, so we're going to do it. I still think this is a really good camera, even on the front camera. It may not be the most amazing thing in the world, but it's still more than usable. So yeah, we're going to be using this all week, and we'll see how it goes. So that's all I really got, but it should be a pretty chill day. I actually have to head to a doctor's appointment in a little bit, so I'm gonna go do that, and then probably just gonna keep editing last week's vlog. I have to get that up. I'm trying to get it up on time this week. I'm gonna guess I'm probably not going to, but we will see. So that's all I've got. So yeah, let's get into this week's vlog. All right, so while I'm at my doctor's appointment, I'm heading there in a couple minutes. Figured I would record some footage that I initially recorded for last week's vlog, but then realized how long it was going to be. So it's random, but it's there. So enjoy it.
All right, so as you can see, I have all of the phones out. Typically when I do this, it's usually just to test out batteries. It's kind of a functioning test, but also kind of not. But I figured I'd do sort of just a rundown of, do the battery checks on camera. I haven't done it in a while, and obviously I have a lot more phones, so I don't really know where I'm going with this, but I'm going to set the tripod up and we're just going to do it. Alright, my tripod's at kind of a low angle, but let's see what we got. So, got the AT&T LG True. That is looking like it has a full battery, so we'll go ahead and shut it off. And we will put that in the dumb phone drawer over there. These are all super random. I just kind of do this, often. So we have the Moto G Power. That's 74%. That is plenty for the next use. So we'll go ahead and shut it down. If it wants to shut down, there we go. And I have a box over on the side of my bed that houses my best smartphone, so I'll go and throw it in there. Alright, we have the silver iPhone SE. This looks like it is dead, indeed. So we will go ahead and place this on the desk and remind ourselves that this device needs to be charged. We have the space gray iPhone 6S that is at 1% battery. So same deal with this guy. Go ahead and shut it down. I often like to wipe my phones down when they look like this because it looks disgusting in my eye. Please just shut down. Please just shut down. That's all I'm asking. Anyways. That looks much better. The SE as well. So those are set for charge. This is honestly probably going in the week 4 vlog because I just remembered I have all of the rest of the camera test results to put in, or the camera test reactions. We have the Galaxy S9. I believe the always on display is on, so I'm pretty sure that means it's dead. It's gonna try and power back up, but I guarantee you it is not gonna get very far. I'm pretty sure I saw the battery was low. Yeah, 0%. So this is destined to die in about 5 seconds. Turns off the vibration motor. And it just kills everything. So I'm going to just shut that back down. Like I said, these are all random. You have the Samsung Exclaim, which only has 1 bar of battery, so we're going to shut that down. Wow, that's laggy. Close it up if I can. There we go. And we're going to place it in that box over there. Let's just get through this pile on the left here. So we have the Droid Turbo 2. Let's show what percentage it is on the lock screen, but that's alright. Go away. Data warning. 34%. Typically, when the phone is under like 35% battery, you usually give it a recharge, especially phones like this that really take a while to charge. This phone, you almost have to charge it while it's powered off, because if you charge it while it's powered on, it takes like 6 hours to charge. Why it takes that long, I don't know. It has a big battery, but it's 3,700 milliamps. It's not that big compared to modern standards. So that is wiped down as best as it can be. We'll go ahead and set it on the charge table. Let's grab the J7 in a case. This has 48% battery. That is good enough, so we'll go ahead and shut it down. Give it a nice little wipe down. And we'll place it in the best smartphones box. Alright, we got the ZTE Maven, 33%. This doesn't take quite as long to charge, but powered up the next time, it's going to be at like, it's going to die in like 10 seconds. This thing has such a terrible battery. So shut it down, give it its little bath, and set it on the charge table, or workbench, or whatever the hell. Alright, realized I didn't hit record for that BlackBerry Z10 that was sitting right there, but that's alright. Let's actually get the lights to look a little bit better. Let's grab the A20. This is at 27%, so that's pretty low, and this does have a fairly big battery. It's 4,000 milliamps. So I'm going to shut it down. There we go. Come on. There we go. Okay. Give it a mini bath. Much better. And we'll set it on the workbench. Let's grab the S6. I thought I just saw the red light. Did I? I did indeed. 8%. Pretty typical for the S6. It needs charge basically every day. Oops, 7%. Alright. Yeah, could you let me shut you down? Okay, looks a little better from the front angle. Set it on the workbench. Grab that Jordan Incredible next. This is I just charged this one. It's all good to go. We'll power it down, and we will set it in the main smartphone drawer. Alright, let's got the CoolPad Catalyst. I just charged this one. This one's actually not too bad on battery, not 82%. That is all good. Let me clear those notifications. Let's check recent apps real quick. I often forget to clear all my recent apps and stuff. So sometimes I try to do that when I get them to go down. Looks a little nicer. We'll go and set this in the smartphone drawer. That LG Rebel 4. We've got 47%. That's good enough. Gave it its nice little wipe down. It's all good to go. I'll place this in the Better Smartphones box. So you get the idea of what I do here. I'm not going to keep doing this. I'm not going to keep repeating myself because it's just going to get really annoying. But yeah, that's the nightly cleanup, or not nightly at this point because that's just too cumbersome at this point. But the when all the phones are on the bed cleanup, that's what we do. So I'm going to go and clean up the rest of these.
All right, so I just got this in from Amazon. This is actually a new case for my iPhone 13. This is just a telltale sign. Don't buy Apple cases, especially these silicon ones. That's tearing. That's completely torn. And it's tearing one other place at the bottom. Yeah, right there. I've had this case for 5 months. What a piece of shit. So, I'm gonna rip that off. And let's check out the new case. So yes, it is another unicorn beetle. This is one of my favorite cases, actually. I've used this. I had it on my 8 Plus. I had it on my first 10R, and actually my other blue 10R at one point. And now I have it for my iPhone 13. And if I can get it out here, I did go for the royal blue once again. Oh, this is actually a little bit of a lighter shade, which I kind of like. So let me peel that off. And is there one on the inside? There is. Ah, beautiful. So let's throw it on here. Ooh. Yeah, that looks good. I like it. Nice feeling buttons. Yeah, that's a sweet case, and it looks pretty good with the Starlight. I am impressed. I am totally using this now for ASMR. Just stick it to any phone. Like I could just casually stick it to an iPhone 7. But just smooth it out a little bit. Got a full-on ASMR trigger right there. That is pretty sick. So, extra little perk from Unicorn Beetle. Alright, so it's the next day, and you may notice we've got a little bit of a weird setup going on with the microphone here. We are actually putting the ringtone studio back up, and I'm going to try a little different this time. I'm going to try to have this set down here, and I'm going to record some dumb phones as part of this ringtone studio, and I'm going to try to do actual waveforms inside of After Effects. So this is going to be a pretty sweet ringtone studio. I'm hyped, and it's going to be a lot of releases, so we'll see how this goes. Alright, so it's been a pretty chill day. I have not done a damn thing, which means I'm literally sitting at my desk tomorrow and editing this vlog, or last week's vlog, and getting it up, hopefully. So that's not great, but it's a thing. I was literally just watching a bunch of NHL highlights, And then we actually just got back not too long ago. We went to go see the new Blackberry movie, which was actually really, really good. I really liked it. Apple crushed the game, and the Blackberry Storm is a thing. Yeah. So that's how life went for Blackberry. But I highly recommend that movie. I think you should go check it out. It's really good. All right, so it's the next day. It was a bit of a long night last night. But yeah, like I said, we saw the Blackberry movie. It was good. And then this morning, woke up to a wasp behind my curtain, which is absolutely great. So you'll love to see that. Get scared for your life. Get scared shitless because of a bee that gets into your house. So love that. Yeah. But anyways, right now I have to finish editing last week's vlog, like now, like yesterday, because that shit needs to get up today. I have a problem. I'm an idiot. But yeah, we're gonna go do this right now, and let's just get it done. Okay, so while I'm still editing this video, last week's vlog, I just realized how long it's gonna be because of part 2 of the blind grading of all the phone cameras. So what I think I'm gonna do is put part 3 in right now, which shouldn't be quite as long, but yeah, while I'm working on this, I'll put part 3 in here. So here you go. All right, so yes, another wardrobe change. It's the next day. But let's finish up grading these photos. So now we're on to the 2016 Galaxy J3. Let's take a look here. So definitely some exposure struggles, but not as much as I was expecting. It's over sharpening though, a little bit, not terribly, but a little bit. Okay, so definitely underexposure there. Yeah, it seems to want to underexpose a lot. Ooh, okay, that's better. Moving inside. It's definitely struggling in low light. It's not doing great. And yeah, it's really tending to underexpose. Like it's biasing towards that a lot. A little too much, honestly. I mean, honestly, the photos don't look bad. But yeah, it's just underexposing a little too much for my liking. 4.5 out of 10. It's decent, but it definitely has some issues that are gonna make it need a little bit of help. All right, we're shifting back to a couple of dumb phones. Now we have the Samsung Seek. Okay. So yeah, it's a dumb phone photo. Yee. Definitely a lot of exposure issues. You can make out what you're seeing vaguely. There's not a ton of detail. There's no dynamic range at all. It's overexposing basically everything. Yeah, this is not good. Okay, that's pretty rough. 2 out of 10. You can make out what you're seeing, but not by much. And like there's some text in here and you can just barely make out some of it. So yeah, 2 out of 10. It's not great. All right, now we have the Samsung Exclaim. That's actually not that bad. It's overexposing a little bit, but it's a good quality. There's some decent detail. There's not a ton of dynamic range, but that's actually not that bad. It's solid enough. It's maybe a little soft, but okay, that's got some exposure issues. It's overexposing in the areas you'd expect it to overexpose, but that's decent quality. Like, that doesn't look that bad. This is on par with some low-end smartphones. Like, that's pretty reasonable. 4 out of 10. That's not as bad as I was expecting. All right, now we have the Samsung Moment. So this is the earliest of my Samsung smartphones. Actually didn't look too bad. So definitely has some exposure issues with overexposure. There's an okay amount of detail. Maybe over sharpening just a slight bit, but not by much. It's definitely oversaturated, like pretty heavily oversaturated. But honestly, the details there, it almost looks like it's kind of getting a little bit of weird chromatic aberration in there, but not in an extreme way. That's even a little bit better, honestly. Yeah, these are pretty solid, like impressive. It's doing, actually for its time, it's doing reasonably well in low light. It is struggling with motion blur a little bit, but that's one of the better like 2009 smartphone photos I've seen. Definitely way better than the Aris. Honestly, that's a 5 out of 10. I'd say it's even better than that Galaxy J3. Like it's pretty solid. All right, so I'm gonna be dumb laughing for this next one. But we have the Palm Treo 680. You can't even see anything. This is a 640 by 480 photo, anyways. I don't even think that this Palm camera goes higher resolution. Like, this is a potato camera. I don't think I've given a 0 out of 10 yet, so I'll give it here. 0 out of 10. This is absolute garbage. This is the worst camera I've ever seen. It's pathetic. It's disgusting. I mean, this phone wasn't meant for taking photos, and it shows. It's bad. Really bad. All right, now we have the Pantech Jest 2. So I think there's a little something wrong with this camera because it's like really just smoking out a lot of things. I think it has something wrong with it. You can't make out really any detail. I think this camera's damaged, if I'm being completely honest. I don't know. I really just got this phone like a couple weeks ago, like a month ago. So I haven't really had much time to play with it. But yeah, I can't grade this one, to be honest, because it's screwed up into oblivion. All right, now we have a giant piece of shit. I mean, the AT&T Radiant Core. Let's take a look. Yeah, it looks like a piece of shit camera. And for 2019, this is absolutely pathetic. There's no dynamic range, underexposing everything. God, this phone. I don't even know why I ever bought this phone. It's the biggest piece of shit I've ever seen. Yeah, it's terrible. 0.5 out of 10. Pathetic for a phone that came out in 2019. All right, now we're going a little back to dumb phones. We have the LG Octane. I believe that's what this is. So let's go to the photos that we actually just took. A little soft, but you can make out what you're seeing there. It looks like it's overexposing just a little bit, but it almost kind of makes it just looks like it's overcast outside. That's not that bad. That could be a hell of a lot worse. It's not a great camera by any means, but it's definitely not the worst thing I've seen. That's decent. 3.5 out of 10. It's still a dumb phone camera, and it shows that it's a dumb phone camera, but it does pretty well with things you wouldn't expect a dumb phone to do well with. Okay, I think we got a streak of smartphones coming up here. Yeah, most of the rest of these are going to be smartphones. This is the LG G3. And mine is pretty messed up. So, mine, I think there's some sort of dirt inside of it, so it's like it has a little bit of a smoky effect. It's not doing well with the parts. Like, for 2014, it should be doing a lot better with exposure, but I don't know. I'd have to get a G3 that's in better shape that doesn't have any of like the dirt mark issues. But this isn't great, and the G4 was a huge step up from the G3. I definitely want to get a G4 to try and test it at some point. But, I mean, the detail's okay for being a screwed up camera. But this one's difficult to grade. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the detail isn't too bad. 4.5 out of 10? Maybe a 5, honestly, because it's doing fairly well considering the camera's messed up. So, not bad. Moving a little bit older, now we have the Motorola Photon Q. Okay, it's doing actually very well with exposure. Like, the sky's not blown out, you can see blue in there, but it is over sharpening. And biasing maybe just a slight bit warm in some areas and almost biasing cool in some other areas, which is kind of odd. But the main thing that I noticed as is trying to over sharpen a little bit, but there's good detail and good dynamic range actually, for being a 2012 smartphone camera. Like this, I think could go toe to toe with the iPhone 5. I have to get an iPhone 5 to test it out, but and it actually does very well in low light. Like it's picking up a lot of light in the background of the inside shot really well. It's soft in the areas where it's picking up the light, but it looks good. Honestly, 6 out of 10. It looks good. Just some minor edits and it would be pretty solid. Alright, a slightly different camera. Here's the Droid Razr M. Ooh. Photon Q is definitely better. I'll say that. This is underexposing pretty poorly. Decent detail, although a little soft. Okay, that's a little bit better in terms of exposure. Not great in terms of dynamic range, but and it's biasing a little warm. I'd have to do some highlight tuning on this one and do some exposure tuning. Ooh, yeah, it's doing much worse in low light compared to the Photon Q. 4 out of 10. It's struggling in a lot of the areas that the Photon Q really didn't. And it with no real reason to. This isn't that great. Okay, now we have the Motorola or Moto X Play. Let's see. Biasing exceptionally warm, but good detail here. Good detail, solid dynamic range. But yeah, it's biasing really warm. It almost looks like we're taking this at sunset. Which is kind of interesting. Kind of cool, though. Yeah, there's solid detail in these. Like, it looks good. It's a good, solid photo. Okay, that's a little bit better now that I'm at a slightly different angle. Yeah, this looks solid. Like, I feel like I could actually use this camera to take some decent photos. That's not bad. Okay, not amazing in terms of low light, but this is a pretty... It's not a super wide angle lens, although I actually didn't take that at the... Actually, that's fairly wide. I took that at the full screen mode, and this one I took at the full resolution, the 21 megapixel mode. And that's pretty decent. Like, I feel like in terms of a day-to-day camera, you could do a lot worse. That's a solid 6.5 out of 10. Detail's solid while biasing at some points a little bit warm for my liking. I feel like if you would just do some minor edits to it, like some highlight tuning and maybe just tune the color space to however you like, this could be a solid camera to use. And a phone that I think has a basically identical sensor but is a slightly higher end phone is the Motorola Droid Turbo 2. So let's take a look at that. Yeah, I mean, I don't see much of a difference when going from phone to phone. Although I actually think the Moto X Play has a slight bit better. It's slightly better in terms of detail. And this is almost underexposing a little bit. It's not biasing as warm on the Droid Turbo 2, which is immediately apparent. And it's interesting. Neither of them do great in terms of low light. They're doing okay in terms of picking up detail there. Oh, that actually did really bad in low light. Like, it really underexposed a lot of stuff that the first two didn't. I would almost say the Moto X Play is slightly more favorable in my book. This still looks solid, but I'm going to bump it down a half to 6 out of 10. It's good, but not... I actually think the Moto X Play looks slightly better. All right, 2 more smartphones. We have the ZTE Sonata 2. God, that's horrible. Overexposed mightily. You can't make out detail. You can't make out any sort of dynamic. Jesus Christ. God, that's so bad. That's so bad. It's gathering colors that it never should from random aspects of the photo. Oh, 2015. This is awful. 1 out of 10. Absolutely horrible. I know this is a cheap smartphone, but it shows it. It shows that it's a cheap smartphone way too much. Way too much. And the last in terms of the smartphones, we have the ZTE Maven 3. And it ain't a whole lot better. Yikes. That's almost worse in terms of detail. Okay, that's a little bit better. Still not good, but a little bit better. Jesus Christ. And when you move inside, it's pulling all the cool colors it can out of the photo and just kind of mushing it all together. Ooh, boy, yeah. Low-end ZTE smartphones have pretty ass-crack cameras. Yeah, I'd say this is another 1 out of 10. Maybe a half-step bump, because it does do slightly better with detail in some photos, but it struggles with focus. It has some of the slowest autofocus I've ever seen, and it's pulling all the colors it shouldn't, which I mean, to be fair, the Sonata was doing as well, but yeah, 1.5 out of 10. It's really not good. Okay, and now we have some under the filter of unknown camera, and I would venture to get in. I know one of these is the W418, and one of these is the Samsung Blackjack 2. So I'm gonna go based on dates here. I think this is the W418. Okay, so that was taken at VGA resolution, which is not good, but even the photos that weren't taken at VGA resolution look pretty awful. Fakerola. 0 out of 10. It's actually horrible. Like, it's some of the worst photos I've ever seen. Moving on to the Blackjack 2 here. It's really trying to over sharpen while gathering a super small amount of detail. Like, it's trying to over sharpen way too much. Horrible in low light. It's crunching on a lot of aspects of the photo. It doesn't do any sort of stabilization, obviously, because it's a piece of shit dumb phone. But yeah, that's like a 1 out of 10. So there you go. That's all of the smartphone cameras or phone cameras I was able to take with graded. And these are going to go in the collection update. So yeah, pretty interesting to see. A lot of these aren't very good, but some of these are actually very good. So yeah. Alright, so I just finished up the video. I'm encoding it now, and I'm actually doing it inside of Adobe Media Encoder this time. I don't think that's really going to make it any faster, but I do think it's going to... It's nice to be able to see the preview of what's going on at every exact moment, so I can just kind of get an estimate, a better estimate for how far in it is, so yeah. I'm probably going to keep doing this from now on, because honestly, this isn't bad. Alright, so didn't vlog anything yesterday. I didn't do a whole lot, so yeah. But I am back and alive now. So yeah. So right now I'm going to keep working on the collection update. I just shot the entire startup and shutdown compilation, even though that's probably not going to go out until like October. Just want to have it, you know, shot and ready to edit, because editing takes me a while because I'm stupid. But anyways, yeah. And then later tonight, we're actually going to this little hangout at my friend's house. So you guys will hopefully be able to see some clips from that. It's going to be like a little bonfire, I think. We're just going to all be hanging out. So yeah, should be fun. All right, so I haven't done a ton of work today, but I've done an okay bit. We're gonna head over to the party, little bonfire in just about half an hour, and just go hang out. So I do have to take the big boy lens, although this is, stock lens, but whatever. I want to get more lenses for this camera, I really do, but they're not cheap. So yeah, 18 to 55 is what we got. Still not a bad lens, honestly. The kit lens that comes with this Canon T7 is really not bad. Anyways, that's besides the point. Gotta grab the battery down here. There we go. And yeah, just gonna go hang out and have some fun. All right, so I just finished up hanging out with everyone at the little bonfire here. It was awesome. Had a great time. Just hanging out. I'm gonna leave some of their links down in the description if you want to follow them. I don't know, but one person in particular, Mason, YBK Mase, he is dropping some amazing tracks. Honestly, they're fire. So definitely go check that out. Apple Music, Spotify, I'll leave those links down below. I'll also leave a link to his Instagram. So go check him out. He's signing a record deal pretty soon, so yeah, hopefully that goes well. And yeah, but I'm gonna head back home right now, try and figure out where the hell I'm going. And yeah, probably just do some goofy shit with phones tomorrow, as per usual. All right, so now this vlog is like super out of order. I didn't record anything yesterday, so today is Sunday, which means it's gonna be the last day of this vlog. But we are getting actually decently far with the collection update. We're almost done getting the smartphone section together, and I have 6 days to get it done. So should be all right. The export's gonna suck, because this is probably gonna be well over a 15 gigabyte file, which is really painful. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. So yeah. Also, for my fellow phone collectors, don't you just love it when you have to charge basically half your collection in a single day? Or am I the only one? I probably am the only one, and I'm just a fucking moron, but, yeah, that's probably it. I have had fucking 7 clips just eject itself from this project file in the last, 10 minutes. This is ridiculous. If Adobe doesn't push an update to fix this shit, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop editing in Premiere. I'm actually gonna stop editing in Premiere. This is ridiculous. Yeah, this totally isn't a problem. Not having any of the footage that I already put together for this entire section gone. Completely f***ing gone. Even when I try to re-import it, it doesn't do a damn thing. That is pathetic. Adobe, you should be fucking ashamed of yourselves. This is unacceptable. Absolutely fucking unacceptable. So Premiere sort of ended up fixing some things, but still, come on. The fact that I'm questioning if this video is going to even work out at this point when I'm this far into it is ridiculous. Anyways, but that's besides the point. This is going to be a huge week, and you will see all the behind the scenes of getting everything ready in next week's vlog. But that is going to be it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button down below. You already know what to do. Follow me on all my socials. Those are always down below. And yeah, fun things are coming up. So I'll go and catch you guys in the next one. Peace.